This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Attorney Don Foote loses appeal against disbarment. The Court of Appeal has upheld the decision of the General Legal Counsel that attorney-at-law Don Foote be struck from the list of lawyers authorized to practice in Jamaica. In December 2019, the GLC found Foote guilty of professional misconduct and ordered that he be disbarred. Foote disagreed and took the matter to the appeal court on several grounds, contending that the GLC acted with irregularity in the conduct of the proceedings before ordering his disbarment. The attorney said he will immediately take the matter to the United Kingdom-based Privy Council, Jamaica's final appellate court. There is a concerted effort to take away my license, Foote said. He also said he cannot get a fair hearing in Jamaica because of his views and the position he takes. We have a poor sense of justice in Jamaica, he said. The disbarment arose from a complaint by a client that Foote underreported by $7 million the amount she was awarded following a lawsuit filed in the Supreme Court against a dentist. The client had testified before the three-member disciplinary panel of the GLC that Foote informed her that the award was $16 million. She said Foote deducted his fees from that amount. However, the woman said that a friend encouraged her to make checks, and she then discovered that the amount was $23 million. She said following the discovery, she was paid the balance minus $2.3 million in legal fees. Foote had denied underreporting the settlement to the client. He maintained that she executed a document before a justice of the peace for the release and the discharge of the money, indicating that she knew about the $23 million settlement by an insurance company. Foote said the discrepancy was $7 million, which was deducted as legal fees and expenses which the client agreed to. He said the settlement was in relation to a tooth extraction and he had to send her several times abroad for treatment at his own expense. He said he had to pay her hotel fees and medical bills in the USA. Woman to report merciless judge to Chief Justice Sykes. A mother who on Tuesday, November 2, narrowly escaped spending 10 days in jail for child support because she did not have a balance of $10,000 which she was disputing, said the justice system needs to be overhauled. The experience has left a bitter taste in her mouth and is something I will never forget because the judge showed me no mercy or leniency, she emphasized. The woman said she turned up in court on Tuesday with the last $8,000 she had. She explained that when she went to court last month, she was told that she owed $18,000 for child support. I was positive I did not owe so much, so when I went to court on Tuesday, I asked for the amounts I paid to be checked again. The judge refused, and to my shock and surprise, he said I would have to pay the entire $18,000 or spend 10 days in jail. He then called a policewoman to lock me up, she related. The woman said at that moment she pleaded with the judge to allow her to make a phone call, and he gave her the opportunity. She called a friend who came to the courthouse and gave her the $10,000 and saved her from spending time in jail. She said even when she explained to the judge that the child had been living with her since April this year and her husband, who is a member of the Jamaica Defense Force, had not given her any maintenance money, the judge showed no sympathy. She said her husband, who was in court, collected the $18,000. After she and her husband separated, the woman said she had custody of their child. She had some challenges and had plans to go overseas, and so she asked the court to give custody to her husband for the time being. During the period, her husband took her to court for maintenance, and the court ruled she should pay him $8,000 monthly. She admitted that because of the pandemic, the payments were not regular and her husband took out a summons against her for the money. The child was in the custody of the father for 9 months, so the total to be paid was $72,000, and she said she paid the amount in installments. She explained that she was positive the only amount owing up to Tuesday was $8,000. The woman said she went overseas and on her return, she applied for custody of the child and was awarded custody by the court in April this year. Since then, I have been the sole breadwinner for my child, who is now attending a prominent high school and is doing very well at school. One of the things that bothered me most when I was ordered locked up over a $10,000 difference was what was going to happen to my 12-year-old child, she cried. She disclosed that since she got custody of the child, she has not applied to the court for a maintenance order against her husband. She said she has never applied for spousal support. I narrowly escaped spending time in jail, and to this day, I cannot understand why such a harsh decision was made by the judge, she added. The woman said she plans to write to Chief Justice Brian Sykes so he can be aware of the incident. Clarendon residents are concerned about breakaways. The resumption of face-to-face classes for some schools has residents in sections of Clarendon Northwestern on tender hooks. Residents in Grantham, Peckham, and the surrounding communities say children are at greater risk, citing possible dangers amid several breakaways across the Clarendon Northwestern constituency. They are also appealing to motorists who traverse the area to reduce their speed and be on the lookout for children. Householders lamented that vehicular traffic has been adversely impacted as roads have been reduced to single lanes since rains associated with a tropical storm Ida pelted the constituency in August. Clarendon Northwestern Member of Parliament Philip Henriquez told the News on Monday that work to correct the breakaways in the Grantham and Kilsyth communities has been approved by the National Works Agency. I understand that the approvals are in the procurement stages at this time and will be effected as soon as the process is complete, Henriquez said. One resident, Gary Bailey, cited the breakaway at the Rock River Bridge in Grantham as a danger waiting to happen. Bailey said he has witnessed an accident involving a car with students plunge over the bridge years ago, and fears history could repeat itself if work to correct the breakaway is not carried out soon. At this spot, nobody never die, but them broke up, and that them gonna make happen from here so to further around to Peckham Crossing. I would want something to be done here, he said. The children them rude and them will drop over there cause them a ramp and will drop over in the river, said another resident. Taxi operator Tyrone, who plies the Frankfield to Spalding's route, said the road conditions are life-threatening to motorists, particularly those without knowledge of the breakaways. The road is very dangerous. Several times me buck on vehicle and me have a sudden brake just to avoid from hitting one another. If strange people come by and don't know the road, you and them buck up round there. Accident can happen. One of them can drop over the bridge, Tyrone said. A passenger who was aboard a taxi expressed discomfort about traversing the road. A full time them rectify it, me scared of it when the rain fall. And the river come up close to it and the vehicles have to keep on one side of the road. And we not feel comfortable, he said. Hugh Wittig was among a group of residents who chided political representatives for years of neglect. He said the authorities should consider some permanent infrastructural redress to flooding in the area, as the Riamino poses a grave threat to lives and livelihood whenever there is heavy or continuous rainfall. We live here so long and the river always come across over the road. And we need a wall to protect us because when the river come over the road, it flood out shops and bars. And we need the road to fix from Frankfield to Spalding's because there is so much breakaway on the roadside because of the river, said Wittig. Damage caused to the constituency by Tropical Storm Ida was estimated at hundreds of millions. In the Wandon gang trial, black man often requested pictures of those killed, says witness. The former Don turned state witness at the Wandon gang trial on Monday revealed in the Home Circuit Court that the alleged leader of the criminal enterprise, Andre Blackman Bryan, frequently requested photographs of persons he had ordered killed. He said Mr. Bryan liked to look at the deceased. The witness was cross-examined on Monday by Mr. Bryan's attorney, Lloyd McFarlane. The witness agreed that there were inconsistencies in the statement he gave to the police and his testimony in court, but he insisted that he was telling the truth and had given more details in his testimony. The former Don also responded to a suggestion by Mr. McFarlane that he had preempted the police because he did not want to be charged. He agreed that Mr. Bryan was in custody when he gave his first statement to the police in November 2018. According to the former Don, Mr. Bryan told him that the police had no case against him in the matter, in which he was arrested 3 years ago because the witness could not identify him. While being cross-examined on Monday, he insisted that even if he was charged, it was his mission to give evidence to put a stop to the Wandon gang. The witness told the court that he was forced into the gang. He admitted he was wrong to participate in the killing of the man identified as Dooley. The Home Circuit Court last month heard that Dooley was killed on Chancery Street in St. Andrew in 2017, less than 3 weeks after 3 alleged members of the Wandon gang had made an unsuccessful attempt on his life. It was alleged that Andre Blackman Bryan ordered the killing because Dooley was a member of a rival faction of the Klansman gang. Chief Justice Brian Sykes on Monday afternoon granted defense lawyers additional time to prepare their cross-examination. The decision was made following a request from attorneys Shannon Clark and Alexander Shaw. More public health inspectors needed, says Jamaica Association of Public Health Inspectors. The Jamaica Association of Public Health Inspectors is renewing its call for the cadre to be doubled to better monitor unregulated food vendors who have popped up since the COVID-19 pandemic. There are over 450 public health inspectors employed across the island. Michael Miles, president of the Jamaica Association of Public Health Inspectors, says ideally with the increase in the Jamaican population and development, 900 inspectors are needed. Speaking with the news on Monday, Mr. Miles said the Ministry of Health has been reviewing the proposal for more staff.
We are seeing officers being burnt out right now with the increase in workload of monitoring or the increase in the number of monitoring of facilities across the countries when it comes to COVID, BPOs, the sanitizing of all establishments. Where you go to an establishment now, you realize we have sanitization stations. We have to monitor all of these facilities to ensure that we do not have mixing of chemical that can cause harm. So yes, we do need the increased cadre. So the challenge to us is to constantly monitor these facilities. Who today you probably see 5 or you probably know 2 or 3. Within a week or so, you probably have 10. So persons just decide that, hey, food business is the best business. But we have concerns, and we want the public to understand that there are many concerns here, whether it be microbial or environmental contamination of food that will cause disease and even death.
NWA clears several roads affected by heavy rain in western Jamaica. The National Works Agency has mobilized the teams to clear several roads across St. James and Hanover after torrential rainfall from Sunday night into Monday caused extensive flooding and damage. NWA Communication Manager Stephen Shaw says a number of thoroughfares, including the main road leading to Sangster International Airport, were significantly affected.
We did have serious cases of flooding in the western city of Montego Bay and landslides impacting roads in Hanover earlier today. The main road leading to the MBJ airport at Flankers was at one stage impassable. We also had problems heading into Montego Bay from the direction of Negril, with the Unity Hall main road being impacted by a heavy deposit of silt that was deposited there by raging floodwaters coming from the Guava Walk area. We have managed to get the corridors once again reopened. We know that we have some drains that will have to be cleaned, to include the South Gully in Montego Bay. That one too overflowed, resulting in some amount of flooding on Creek Street and in the vicinity of the Type 5 clinic that's there. We will be looking at the North Gully drain as well, and we will continue the cleaning and clearing on the Unity Hall main road in Hanover. The Cash Hill main road was impacted by landslides, and we have mobilized to have that road reopened.
Homer Davis, State Minister for Local Government, expressed alarm at the damage after touring some of the flood-ravaged areas.
I was called by the Deputy Prime Minister, who was in Kingston, and today, being a cabinet day, he asked me to visit these areas that has been damaged as a result of consistent rain. over the past couple of days. But in the last 12 to 24 hours, it's like it has been non-stop. And so I am here today looking at the damage, and believe me, I am very much familiar with this area. I've never seen this level of destruction. This road that we are standing on was recently constructed some 4 years ago, and to see what has been done to it now.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.